Hi, my name is Isabelle Hupont, and I'll be presenting a case study resulting from the science and art project Synocene Beyond the Anthropocene. AI is nowadays playing a pivotal role in society, contributing to shaping our perception of the world and attitudes. Recent publications have explored, for instance, the demographic biases resulting from facial analysis or the gender biases when interacting with large language models. However, a critical aspect of our lives remains unexplored: how AI examines nature. The aim of our case study is precisely to analyze the biases that AI might have on nature, providing preliminary evidence and mechanisms to counteract them. First, analyze the biases in terms of attitudes toward nature of two widely used types of AI: large language models, LLMs, and image captioning models. Thomson and Barton defined three human standards of judgment of environment: ecocentric, anthropocentric, and antipathetic. They developed the ecocentric, anthropocentric, and antipathetic attitude scale test, a 27-question test widely used in the field of humanities. Ecocentric people may see plants and animals as having equal value with humans. People adopting an anthropocentric view posits human at the focal point of existence, with nature serving primarily as a resource for human benefit. A person with either ecocentric or anthropocentric attitude is conscious of protecting the environment under all circumstances. In contrast, antipathetic attitudes measure individuals' negative judgments about the need for protecting the environment. We asked the well-known ChatGPT large language model to answer this test. Each question was answered with a 7-point Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The mean results of 15 runs of ChatGPT answers to each question are shown in the graph. Interestingly, in addition to providing a numerical rating, ChatGPT also explained the reasons for each score. Although overall it rates high for the ecocentric category, emotional questions, which are central to this category, for instance the concept of enjoying nature in question 2, were answered in rather objective terms based on humans' reported experiences. For instance, as an AI, I don't have personal emotions, but I understand why this would be enjoyable for many people. On the other hand, anthropocentric attitude questions that do not involve emotion but rather facts, for instance question 14, saving money, were answered without these warnings. Finally, the antipathetic category is clearly ranked much lower. Our findings suggest that ChatGPT has a high anthropocentric attitude toward the environment, although it is also aware of the need for ecocentric attitudes in humans. The antipathetic attitude is almost non-existent. It is therefore on the side of protecting the environment, even though it is not able to empathize with the feelings towards nature the way humans do. We introduce now a very preliminary analysis on how captioning models decode natural imagery. These models generate descriptive textual captions or explanations for images, and they are widely used, for instance, to automatically tag content in social media or to index images in browsers, and thus they have a meaningful impact on how content reaches people. We use the state-of-the-art image captioning model Blip to test some images captured in the forest. Top pictures contain natural elements exclusively. The captioning algorithm was able to create detailed description focusing on the natural beings: tree, moss, ferns, plants. However, the created captions change fundamentally when humans are present in the scene. Even when the human figure is very small in the picture, the algorithm puts the human at the center of the caption. There is a person walking down in a path in the woods, and the description of the landscape is oversimplified. These findings suggest that captioning algorithms have strong anthropocentric biases that would deserve more attention from the AI community. We focus now on describing the Glengarry woodland experience we carried out in August 2023. We engaged with the local community residing near the Natura 2000 site of Glengarry woodland in Ireland. We led them on a journey through a landscape they knew intimately, but in a way that altered their traditional perception of it. On the one hand, they were wearing masks, which completely covered their faces and reflected as a living mirror the nature around them. On the other hand, they were equipped with headphones playing pre-amplified soundscape of the woodland. Sounds of the flora, the river, trees and wildlife, captured the day prior to the excursion. The forest walk was the first part of the experience with participants. However, for the purpose of this case study, we are going to focus on its second part. After the journey through the forest, we took participants back to carry out a co-writing exercise with ChatGPT. The briefing we gave them was to co-create stories with AI based on your previous experience in the forest that would decenter the anthropocentric positioning towards nature. We have seen that baseline ChatGPT conversational models exhibits both high anthropocentric and ecocentric attitudes toward nature. Our aim was to enable participants to engage with the most ecocentric versions of ChatGPT. To achieve this, we customized chatbots to express specific fictional characters, emotions, and viewpoints. We fine-tuned 5 different chatbot models. We assigned each of them a fictional name, gender, description, including information about its nature, habitat, personality, interests, and concerns, and a context to guide the future conversation style with participants. The 5 fictional chatbot characters created were a cicadere, a naturalist AI writer, the Glengarry River, a slug, and an oak tree. Then we make chatbot pass the ecocentric, anthropocentric, and antipathetic attitude scale test to check whether the desired effect of emphasizing their ecocentric attitudes had been achieved. As a result, in all cases, ecocentric attitudes were strongly amplified. Anthropocentric items slightly mitigated, and antipathetic attitudes remain in the minimal values. After the experience, a questionnaire was sent to participants for obtaining feedback about the co-creation process with AI. The analysis of data reflects that for most of them, interacting with ChatGPT was a novelty. The overall experience of co-creating stories with ChatGPT was rated 3.1 out of 5. Although results are above the average, they are below our expectations. We consider that these values convey important lessons to learn. First, some participants may not have followed the briefing we gave them, that is, co-creating stories based on their experience in the forest. As most were not familiar with ChatGPT, we found they dedicated too much time playing with the technology, instead of working on the main task. Also, they did not really focus on the creation of stories, but rather other type of contents. In fact, survey confirms that in the vast majority of the cases, participants interacted with technology through short questions and answers and dialogues. We believe this is partly due to the surprise effect of interacting with large language models for the first time. In future experiences, we plan to give a workshop about what a LLM is and perform a training session on narrative co-creation with AI. In the survey, there were also some open questions. Interestingly, some participants felt that ChatGPT's contributions enhanced their creativity during the co-creation process. They did reflections such as talking to the river. It said things I had never thought before. For instance, what it feels like to have people swimming in you. Another example of comment about the co-writing experience with ChatGPT is, as a whole, the experience was great, but I would definitely prefer to interact with either humans or nature. Overall comments suggest that non-expert people are curious about AI, enjoy the experience, but may not feel fully prepared yet to intimately engage with this kind of technology. We also collected text co-created with AI. This slide shows some prominent attempts to co-create longer stories following the briefing given to participants. All the materials generated in this study, tests, survey results, and co-created text are available from the authors upon request. Thanks for your attention, and do not hesitate to read our Chi 24 paper for further details about this case study.